Aimée Christensen, executive editor at Hub Culture, and absolutely delighted to be here with Aimée Christensen. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's been a long week, really productive week. I feel great.
Good. So you're here wearing a couple of hats, but I want to start with a sort of broader picture of sustainability, because while it hasn't been a massive topic inside the forum, it's been disguised under the cover of resilience.
Yes.
It has been a topic at Hub Culture and a lot of other places around. Tell me a little bit about your sense of where the subject is in 2026.
What I have been finding over the last 12 months or so is that the people who are working on sustainability, who understand that it's a business imperative, it's a strategic security driver and risk and resilience driver. They understand that, and they're continuing to work together with the people they know and trust, and people who are locking arms to continue to accelerate that work. So in spite of perhaps different words being used and perhaps some people turning away from the topic, fundamentally the community that works on this issue and understands its critical importance are continuing to work as feverishly, as fast as they can.
Including in the States?
Absolutely, in the United States, yes.
Okay.
People are getting together, they're finding each other, and they're continuing to mobilize capital. Definitely I'm finding in the investment front that it's a slower pace, that you're definitely seeing a slowdown on the earlier stage investments into this sector, with a concern about the U.S. market, for instance, and where policies are, and of course taking the federal funding off the table for so much of this. However, the reality is these solutions are often better, faster, cheaper, even without the federal funding. Yes, it may slow it down a bit, less capital coming in, but overall the business case is strong.
You mentioned a couple of phrases there. Trust was one, getting together was another. I want to just quote from the Edelman Trust Barometer. 70% of the people that they surveyed across 28 countries are now hesitant or unwilling to trust somebody who has different values, information sources, approaches to societal problems, or backgrounds than them. So if you don't read my newspaper, if you don't look like me, I'm not going to trust you. And that's quite worrying. What do we do about that?
Again, I think we have to show that we can be trusted. And that's done when you get together in person. It's those direct relationships, whether it's here at Davos or other gatherings around the world.
Like yours, Sun Valley.
Mine in Sun Valley Forum this June, really looking forward to that. But it is about building relationships and trust. And it's also about the work on the ground. So when you get the work done, whether it's building a new solar and storage facility that is better, faster, cheaper, the proof is in the price point. The proof is in the reliability. So it's a matter of seeing it directly yourself. So the more that we can deploy these solutions, the more that we can continue to build the relationships here as people who are joining together with capital and with expertise, the more that people will trust it, and it will just be how it is, because these are better solutions for what we need in the world.
I was speaking to the head of the sustainability practice for DLA Piper yesterday. He said, just follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow where the money's going. The money is still going towards the transition. You call it whatever you want.
Yes.
Call it critical minerals if you want, but that's where the money's going. Let's talk about some of the companies that you're here representing. You mentioned better, faster, cheaper, and solar. Tell us a little bit about where that technology is and what you're excited about.
I'm just so excited about the fact that I've been working in solar. We had solar panels on our house in the 70s. And so I've been watching solar for a very long time, Department of Energy in the 90s. And what is so wonderful is now it absolutely is the cheapest source of power, less than 3 cents a kilowatt hour, which for those of us who don't live in the world of energy is incredibly cheap and cheaper than fossil fuels. So solar has been the vast majority of the world's new power coming online around the world. And then the storage prices have been following solar, also dropping rapidly. And together they provide that reliability and resilience. A lot of people say, oh, solar can't do it, it's intermittent. But when you put it together with storage and a smart operating system, you have a more reliable system even than natural gas and other sources that people claim we need for baseload power. So I've been working with First Avenue Power. It's a new company started by Dr. Tom Buchenbach, who's the founder of 8 Minute Solar, became Avantis. He sold those projects to KKR, private equity firm looking for assets that are producing profit.
Value.
Exactly. And so he had great success there. And what he's now doing is optimizing the new technology to have that power system that is better, faster, cheaper, better because it's more reliable and happens to be clean. That's just because solar and storage are better, faster, cheaper. So that's the source to go with if you want to meet the massive demand that we're seeing from whether it's data centers, electrification of transportation, electrification of industries. We know we're on this path. There may be those who are trying to slow us down, some of the legacy interests want to continue where they've been in the past, but it can't compete. So that's where we're going.
The ship has turned. Talk a little bit about your work with Canopy as well. I was delighted with that conversation earlier in the week. It's a really international, taking on some really big challenges around textiles, one of the hardest industries to turn.
Absolutely. So Canopy, Nicole Rycroft, the founder, I was moderating a session for her earlier. She launched an exciting initiative, which I'll speak about in a moment, but I called her an overnight success, 26 years in the making. You know how that is, where someone has a vision and an expertise, and it's grows and grows, and then all of a sudden everyone recognizes the importance of the work. So she's won multiple awards over the last couple of years, the Audacious Prize, and most recently the World Economic Forum's Gaia Prize for the impact on nature. And the prize they gave her was for mobilizing business for nature. So what she's doing is she's working with the textile and the packaging industries to ensure that we're not sourcing from ancient high biodiversity forests, to instead source from things like agricultural waste. So how do we use these assets? So in the roundtable we did earlier this week, launching a $2 billion catalytic capital fund to mobilize philanthropic and impact capital so that we can tap into India's vast agricultural sector, take the agricultural residue waste, which are normally burned on fields, and create a health hazard for farmers and families, communities, turn that waste into packaging and textiles, and allow our forests to remain protected. And so she has been working with various leaders across India, folks who are working directly with those farmers to develop the strategies for collecting that waste and investing in transforming the manufacturing system in both of those sectors to make it happen.
Tell me what you're excited about for this year.
Well, you know, I can never wait. When I'm at Davos, we all talk about Sun Valley. So I can't wait to host the Sun Valley Forum. It's June 15 to 18, 2026 in Sun Valley, Idaho. My beautiful home. Moved home about 15 years ago. And
one of the best places on earth, I think.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. And people come to ski, but then they stay for the summer. Summers are beautiful there. And what I love to do there is like what we've been doing here in Davos, which is building those relationships, bringing together people who want to collaborate to advance our goals for people and planet across food systems, energy systems, capital, and communications. How do we engage people and communicate in a way that we can meet people where they're at, understand what they care about, and show how this leadership on sustainability, on resilience, more recently regeneration, how that is meeting their priorities of jobs and safety and security and health. So our community comes together every June, so I can't wait for that. And I can't wait to continue to work with Canopy and First Avenue and the other companies and leaders I get to work with and support them in accelerating the growth of their impact around the world.
Thank you very much, Aimée, for stopping by the Hub Culture Studio, and I'm Edie Lush.